Good afternoon, everyone. This is our first Mindset Monday. I'm here with Debbie Sutman. She's the owner and founder of Shine Holistic, and she's also an author. So I really wanted to start our first Mindset Monday with talking to Debbie about gratitude and talking about how it changes your DNA. Debbie, if you'd like to give us a little bit of thought on what you think about DNA and gratitude.
Well, I think that what we think definitely changes everything about our lives. What we think actually creates our lives. So whatever we're thinking of, not only do we create that, but we draw in anything that allows us to create that. So when you are creating something in your life, it allows the DNA within you to be exposed. We are who we are, but do we express ourselves as who we are? Do we live as we are? And gratitude helps us to tap into who we truly are and what we truly came here to do.
Okay, all right. And gratitude, what do you think as far as, do we have a choice? Do we, when we get up in the morning, do we have a choice of either gratitude or?
Absolutely. Every moment of every day is a choice. Every moment of every day. Everything in your life, everything big in your life is made up of small things, small choices. Every building is made up of small bricks. Everything big is made up of small. So if you're not making choices that create something positive and stable and beautiful in your life, then you're creating something that's either destructive, even to your own body, even to your own self. Every choice you make makes up your entire life.
So tell me, do you think that gratitude and being grateful and being able to choose that each day, that can change your life?
Definitely, because what you're focused on is what you create. If you're focused on what is good in your life and what you want in your life versus what you don't want in your life, that depends on what you're creating. So if you're focused on what you want in your life, then you're going to create what you want. If you're focused on what you don't want in your life, then you're going to create what you don't want. And so many people only focus on what they don't want. I have so many people who, when you say, what do you want in life? They will give me a list of all the things they don't want. But they have no idea what they really want in their life. And so a lot of the programs that I do, and even the books that I've written, are about resetting the mind so that you automatically think about love, joy, peace, freedom. Aren't those the things we really truly want in life? But instead we spend all of our time thinking about the things that make us angry, frustrated, afraid. So what are we focusing on? We're focusing on creating frustration, fear, anger. We're focusing on destruction. We want to tear apart our lives because we don't like our lives. Instead of, we want to build a life that we love living. I have a program called Alive and Loving It, and the whole premise is, how do we create a life we love living?
I love that. I absolutely love that. And one of the things that you had taught me, the last thing I'd like to talk about today, is you had mentioned the power of writing down what you're grateful for each day.
I believe that is so powerful because when we get it outside of ourselves, we are able to, first of all, revisit it, look at it, remember it. But anything that we write down or even speaking is so, so powerful. We really need to watch our words and our thoughts, but especially our words, because you speak things into existence. You speak things out into the world. Every word is an energy. It's a vibration. It's a frequency. We work a lot here with light therapy and sound therapy. Just energy, moving energy. We do lots of energy work. And it's amazing how powerful it is when you're really aware of what you say and what you think and what you give to the world and the feelings you express to the world, that's what you're creating. That's what you're giving others. That's what you're sharing with others. That's what becomes your relationship with one another. If everything you're giving to someone else is negativity, how do you expect to have anything positive between the two of you?
Right.
You know, or between your community, or between your own life, yourself. A lot of people spend all their time putting themselves down, speaking in bad, negative ways to themselves. So their relationship with their self is horrible. So everything is made up of every little thing that we do, every thought, every feeling, every word. And writing is just another way of putting it into the world, saying, hey, universe, this is what I want. You know, this is what I want. Will you help me bring this in? You know, because the universe is just a bunch of atoms conspiring and moving around. Anything can become anything. And when you realize that, I mean, what are we made out of? The world is made out of hydrogen and nitrogen and, you know, it's gases, it's things, it's not even real. The density of it and how compact it is what makes it seem real, but it can be pulled apart and broken apart quickly. But it can also be brought together quickly. So if you want a life you love living, you got to think it, you've got to feel it, you've got to speak it, you've got to write it, and you have to be it. Be it. That's the key, especially. You have to be what you want your life to be.
And that starts with gratitude. And that starts
Absolutely.
with something you mentioned, and that's also talking positive to ourselves.
Yes, because gratitude is just simply focusing on what you love about life.
Yes.
That's what gratitude is. That's why it's so powerful, because it's what you do want. Because when I say think of the things you're grateful for, you're not going to think of the things you hate about your life. You're going to think of the things you love about your life. And so gratitude is simply really just thinking about and focusing on and being connected with what you want your life to really look like. And that's a choice. Every moment of every day you have a choice to do that. And
that's the part I wanted
you
to
have
add.
to practice it.
That's
if
great.
you don't practice it, you're always going to default into the negative, unless you've, you know, had this great life where somebody has continuously told you to think about the positive, you know. But if you watch the news or you watch social media, the majority of it is, in many cases, what we're not thankful for, what we're not grateful for. It's not about what we are grateful for.
It's all fear-based.
It is, absolutely. There's no love base to it.
Yeah.
It's all about creating fear, and it's all about giving us making us feel powerlessness. You know, if we are feeling like we have no power, then what are we going to focus on? We're going to focus on the things that we need fixed because someone else has to do it.
Right.
Right? Because we feel powerless. So if we feel powerful and we feel like we are in control of our lives and we feel like we do create our lives, the world changes for us completely.
Debbie, thank you so much. This has been great. We're going to end up doing this once a week, everybody. On Mondays, Debbie and I are going to be coming together and do something, a Mindset Monday. Debbie, do you want to just share, she's written many books. The one that we're going to talk a little bit about today before we wrap up, the book that she has, The Gift of Love by Debbie Suttman.
Well, I have a series of books called The Gift of Life series. And the whole focus really is about changing the way you think about things. The way we've been taught to think about things aren't necessarily the way that it works in the universe or in the world. So these are kind of helping us to understand. So the gift of love is the first one, and truly understanding what love does for our lives and what coming from a place of love does for our lives and the world. When you create, you want to create from a place of love, not fear. So that is the first one that I have. So there's a series of 5, and then I also do several other workshops that I have, Alive and Loving It and Dream Chasers. And then I have some offshoots of those to help people more individually to get more focused on individual ways of creating their life.
It's amazing. And what we'll do is we'll bring out a different book each week. And then also wanted to mention, if you are local here in Batesville, Shine Holistic here in downtown Batesville, Indiana. Best foot cleanse I've ever had. If you want to feel better, you need to come to Shine Holistic. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next Monday.
Thank you, Sean.